Hey there, my fellow anglers, fishing fanatics and friends. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your resident fishing buddy, ready to dive deep into what promises to be a truly fascinating day on the water. We're talking about Friday, October 18th, 2025, here in the beautiful state of Michigan. Now you might be thinking, October, a rainy day, waning moon, what's so special? Well, my friends, this day is going to be a masterclass in adapting to conditions because despite some trickier elements, there are fantastic opportunities for those who know where to look and what to cast. We're going to break down why this day will surprise many and how you can turn what some might call a tough bite into a triumphant one. Stick around because you're about to get the inside scoop on making October 18th a memorable fishing day. Let's talk fish, friends. For October 18th, in our Michigan waters, we've got some prime targets that are ready to play, even with the tricky weather. First up, the mighty salmon, both Chinook and Coho. By mid-October, these kings and silvers are fully committed to their spawning runs. Where to look? Forget the big lake for now, the action is definitely in the rivers. Focus on major river systems like the Manistee River, the Pere Marquette, and the St. Joseph River. These fish will be concentrated in deeper pools, behind log jams, and in the slower currents near spawning beds. Look for bottlenecks where they pause before continuing upstream. The strong south winds and warmer lake waters earlier in the month may have kept some in the lake longer, but by now they are in the rivers, and the rain will only help. On what to catch? For river salmon, my go-to is often drifting roe bags or skein under a float. Don't be afraid to try brightly coloured artificial eggs or even a small dark-coloured jig tipped with a wax worm. Small spinners, jigs or drop-shot rigs with tiny soft plastics in natural colours like brown or green are killer. Don't forget a traditional favourite, a simple float rig with a worm or maggot can also be incredibly effective, especially in clearer water. Remember, perch often travel in shoals, so if you catch one, there's likely more. And for our coarse fishing enthusiasts, carpent will still be on the feed. While they might be moving into slightly deeper water, typically 3 to 6 meters, they'll still visit their summer haunts, particularly if it's a milder spell with stable pressure. Target those deep, silty areas that other anglers might neglect, as these spots often hold natural goodies like bloodworms that carp love. My tip here is to use a smaller pellet feeder and less bait. Particle baits like corn or tiger nuts, perhaps soaked in a little milk, can be irresistible. Don't overfeed, just enough to keep them interested. Finally, for our coastal anglers, sea bass. Fishing remains productive. October is a standout month, often producing some of the largest bass of the season as they aggressively feed before winter. With coastal waters likely to be around 12 to 16 degrees Celsius, bass will be chasing baitfish in estuaries and along the open coastline. Estuaries are hotspots around low tides, especially near neap tides, providing deeper water access to bass. On the open coast, target areas with moving water and look for working birds, which signal baitfish activity. Fish 2 to 3 hours before or after high and low tide when currents are strong. For lures, weedless soft plastics in estuaries and fast-moving lures on the coast are excellent. White, black, and sparkly lures imitate sand smelt, a favorite bass snack. Night fishing can also be incredibly productive for larger bass along the coast in calmer conditions. Now for the conditions breakdown, the theoretical base for our forecast. Overall, the general fish activity for the United Kingdom. On this day, the 18th of October 2025, can be assessed as good to very good, particularly for predatory species like pike and perch and coastal species like sea bass. Conditions are favorable. It is a fantastic window where many species are still feeding aggressively before the full grip of winter sets in. The steady, cool temperatures without extreme drops combined with generally stable pressure and that light rain create favorable conditions for a hungry fish population. The cooling water means fish will be concentrating in deeper, more structured areas, so adjust your tactics accordingly, and you are in for a treat. So, my friends, grab your gear, dress warmly, and head out. Remember, patience is a virtue and preparation is key. I wish you all tight lines and screaming reels. May your nets be heavy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful, and leave a comment below. What are your favorite autumn fishing tactics? What fish are you hoping to catch this weekend? Share your thoughts and experiences. I love hearing from you all. Until next time, stay safe out there and happy fishing. Mornings will hover around 15 degrees Celsius or 59 degrees Fahrenheit, dropping to about 19 degrees Celsius or 66 degrees Fahrenheit at night, with only a trace of light rain. This relative warmth for mid-October, coupled with generally stable atmospheric pressure, creates incredibly comfortable conditions for us anglers and keeps fish active and feeding closer to shallower grounds for longer periods. Water temperature. Across Canadian lakes and rivers, water temperatures are right in that ideal fall cooling range. We're generally seeing between 9 and 16 degrees Celsius, which is 49 to 61 degrees Fahrenheit, with those prime predatory zones dropping to the perfect 4 to 9 degrees Celsius, or 39 to 48 degrees Fahrenheit. This significant cooling trend is initiating the widespread fall turnover, which mixes oxygenated water throughout the entire water column. This process sends a clear, unmistakable signal to all fish. It's time to feed heavily and build up those reserves before the deep chill of winter sets in. Moon phase. Today, we find ourselves in a waning crescent phase, with only about 7 to 10% of the moon's surface illuminated. While some traditional fishing lore might suggest slower activity during this phase, my friends, don't let that deter you. From my many years on the water, I've learned that these lower light conditions, especially during the crucial hours of dawn and dusk, can make predatory fish incredibly bold and less wary. They use the low light to their advantage, making them fantastic targets. The key is to be out there when they are most active, not necessarily when the moon is at its brightest. Overall fish activity. Considering all these factors, my clear assessment for fishing today, October 18th, 2025, is good to excellent and wheaty. Their metabolism is increasing, meaning they're hungrier and more active, moving into those shallower areas where the bait fish are congregating. Moon phase. On the 18th of October, 2025 year, the moon will be in a waning crescent phase with only about 7 to 10% of its surface illuminated. This means we're just a few days away from the new moon, which historically is often associated with strong tides and sometimes a more challenging bite due to reduced light. However, the stronger tidal movements can also stir up bait and create feeding opportunities, especially in estuaries and around structure. Overall activity. The general activity of fish across Sydney this Friday is trending upwards. Fish metabolism is ramping up, and they are definitely moving into shallower feeding grounds. Flathead, bream, and whiting are particularly active inshore and in estuaries. Offshore species like snapper are also keen. The stable weather and increasing water temperatures are major positives. So, my friends, I'm calling it a good to very good day for fishing across most of Sydney, with excellent potential if you adapt your tactics. While the waning crescent might make the fish a little more selective, the combination of stable weather, increasing water temperatures, and abundant bait fish creates a fantastic environment for active feeding. Be patient, present your baits or lures well, and you'll be rewarded. I wish you all tight lines and ni chvosta ni cheshwi. No tail, no scales. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and tell me in the comments, what are your plans for this weekend? What's your go-to bait for spring flathead? Share your observations below.